In honor of Black History Month, the APL Logistics Diversity and Inclusion Team, in partnership with our African American Employee Resource Group, have created a series to promote an inclusive environment for colleagues to engage. This is a platform for our speakers to share their perspectives on how to change the me into we. Through this series of conversations, we will see individuals share their insights and opinions on important issues and topics impacting the African American community. Welcome everyone to our series, Changing the Me into We. My name is April Chapman, and I will be co-hosting these videos with our very own Lamont Nelson. We are excited you have joined us. Today, we will be having a candid conversation with some of our AAERG members. As for me, I manage internal communications and change here at APL Logistics. I am also the host of the APLL Pulse podcast. Lamont, why don't you introduce yourself for our viewers?
Thank you so much, April. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for sharing this platform with me. I look forward to working with you in the next coming weeks of the great guests we're going to have in the future. Of course, again, my role is the Global D&I Director of APL Logistics. Been with the company a little bit over 2.5 years. Previous to that, I've spent 25 years in HR, all different professions. Definitely look forward, exciting for the new path that we're going as a company with the great new leadership we have and some great outstanding things that I know we're going to do in the future of me definitely working closely with you as well, April.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So let's kick this thing off, April.
Yeah.
Let's introduce our first guest that we have on this panel, my good friend, Sephora Howe. Sephora, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful panel. I am Sephora Howe. I am the HR manager for the region for APL Logistics. I've been with the company for about 1.5 years, and I truly enjoy working for the company. I am a huge football fan. I love Tom Brady. Too bad they're out of the Super Bowl, but it's okay.
It's okay.
We won't hold it against you. So, Sephora, I want to get to my first question with you. Sephora, what would you like to see done to change the culture at APL Logistics?
Well, Lamont, that's a very good question. I can honestly say that we are headed in the right direction. We just hired a new director, Al Paul, who is our first African-American director for APL Logistics. We also hired Lamont Nelson, or promoted Lamont Nelson to be the D&I director for APL Logistics. So we are headed in the right direction. Culture comes and starts from the top. We have a great CEO, Thad Bernard, who is a forward thinker, an innovator, and he's putting the right pieces in place. Just like we say, safety is everyone's responsibility, culture is everyone's responsibility. It starts from the top, but it trickles down all the way to the bottom. And how we get people involved, focus groups, employee retention. So employee retention will help when we have the focus group. We have to give people a purpose. If we don't give people a purpose or that platform to speak about how they feel or what the company is doing for them or what we can change, it's like nothing's going to happen. So we have to be the face. We have to get down into our employee personnel and find out, what do you like about APL Logistics? What would you change if you were the CEO or the director or the general manager? Help us help you. So that's how I think we could change culture, and that's what I would like.
That makes me think, I was just reading something this morning about how we need to be a people who listen. And you can have focus groups and people can talk. But if no one is really listening for what can change and listening for how it needs to change, nothing will change. You're just talking. And Absolutely. So I think that is, that's something I hope, moving forward, of course, we want to have those points to give people voice to speak, but we also want to make sure that we are a culture who listens and acts on that.
Yes.
Okay. Natasha, We are going ladies first here.
Good
And
morning.
so you are going to be up. And would you please tell people about yourself? Introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Natasha Seeley. I'm the regional HR manager in the Southwest region. I relocated to Dallas from Florida by way of New York. I'm a Brooklyn girl. And I've been with APL for over a year. And I work, alongside with Sephora, and I previously worked with Lamont in our HR department. And as Sephora said, we're really working hard to making some changes in the culture here at APL Logistics.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know you were a Floridian first. I'm a Floridian.
Yes, Orlando. Yes.
I'm Jacksonville. Woo, woo. So
No,
you come
we can
down
talk
to see
about that
family,
offline.
anything like that. You have to pass through Jacksonville. So you stop.
Well, my son went to FAMU, so I passed through Jacksonville a lot going to Tallahassee. So yes.
Well, good. Come see me. Okay. All right. On another note, let's actually talk about our question today. So from a Black woman's perspective, what do you think has changed in the workforce within the last 20 years?
20 years, huh? You're doing that, April, huh? You're asking about 20 years.
I could have asked myself the same question.
But the main change I can say that I've seen in the workforce, from a Black woman's perspective, is representation. 20 years ago, it was very unlikely that you would see women in the leadership roles that we're currently, in today. For example, our vice president, Kamala Harris, being a woman that represents herself as Black, and also, coming out of an HBCU where her education is valued. Stacey Abrams, and all the work that she's done out of Georgia and for voting rights and, running for governor. Now we're having a conversation for the first African-American justice on the Supreme Court. I mean, considering our country has been, in existence for over 200 years, and that's still a conversation we're having, it feels great, being able to have, as a Black woman, be able to show up as yourself, not being asked to blend in, but being allowed to stand out. 20 years ago, I couldn't be sitting on this panel with natural hair. It would be encouraged to say that to be professional, I had to, straighten my hair. I had to speak a certain way. I had to represent myself in a way where I wasn't going to be able to be seen. And today, it's a whole different conversation. Not only are we encouraged to be ourselves, but we're also celebrated. And, it feels wonderful because it knows that the next generation, they're able to, be their authentic selves and, present all the gifts that we offer as Black women. Even our vote, there was a time where we weren't considered when it came to, we make elections, a lot of elections are based on the Black woman's vote. So we were nobody ever cared about what we thought or what we buy or what we do. So we were making the impact that we're making now in society is being seen and celebrated. So I think that's amazing.
Great call outs, Natasha, especially as well as you, Sephora. You guys bring up some great words. I like purpose, Sephora. I love purpose-driven words because that really stands for a lot. Because one of the things you always heard me say, make decisions with purpose, not on feeling. And when it's purpose-driven, a lot goes that. And Natasha, just your innovation of women coming as far as they come, African women are being accepted with the stereotypes. And the biggest thing is right now for us as society is not just able to come to the table, being welcome at the table. And that's very huge. So very good call outs by you. Let's take it out west to my good friend, Lorenzo Riley. Lorenzo, tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lorenzo Riley. I'm a program manager for APL Logistics, supporting the retail vertical. I'm a huge fan of boxing and I love basketball. And I love hosting parties or basketball games, just a way to connect with people.
Awesome. Lorenzo, when you talk diversity, what comes to mind, my friend?
Well, a couple of things come to mind. I truly believe that diversity is a good thing. It means your thoughts and your feedback count. What you're saying is important. And there's nothing like better than making someone feel that like they're important. In an organization, if I'm connected to the bottom line, if my decisions are known and out there and they're counted, then I feel like I'm a part of making the organization better. I feel like that, sometimes diversity can be looked at as a change from a normal way of doing things. And it truly is, but it doesn't necessarily mean the outcome is going to be bad. One thing that I really want to, kind of call out, though, is what diversity is not. It's not a quiz or certificate that you take. It's actually challenging yourself to accept different ideas, different ways of thinking, and not necessarily look at them as being deficient. One of the things that pops up to mind is, in the football hiring circle, it's a tough situation to see a league, represented by so many Black athletes, but none of them are hardly in leadership roles and coaching roles. And I feel like is just a snapshot of what is some of the challenges that we face in this country and that we need to figure out a way to turn around. It's not, like I mentioned before, it's not good enough to just check a box. You have to actually challenge yourself to look at it from a different perspective, accept that perspective, and do something about it. Put Black folks in a good position, or put Hispanic people in a position where they could thrive as well. Like I feel like that in order for us to thrive as a people, a company, organization, that we're open to the thoughts of different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Great insight.
And one of the words that you said that, of course, like my ears pinged at was change. You talked about change. And as a change manager, I actually embrace change. I love change, and I want to teach people how to embrace change, because I think that change is how growth happens. If you don't change, you don't grow. And so, back to listening has to happen. And then change is something we shouldn't be afraid of. Change is something we all need all the time. We need to continue changing. And we are looking at, I know our IT department specifically, but, as an organization, just being more agile, right? And what that means is that we want to see the changes that need to happen, and we want to be able to quickly change, and move. Because if we stagnate, if we're too slow at the change, it doesn't feel like change, right? It feels like we're like pulling people along, as opposed to talking about fresh new ideas, what's going to work, and trying things, to change. So I thank you for sharing that, Lorenzo. And thank you for being here with us. I have a soft spot in my heart for Lorenzo, because we have worked together on committees where we have tried to bring a lot of fun stuff to APL Logistics. And Lorenzo especially was really good at bringing, like he said, his activities that he liked to do outside. Well, he was really good at making us all start doing activities. And I really could use a little bit of that, Lorenzo, because this chair has become my home a lot of days. We need to get up. So anyways, all right, moving on to Jamal. Jamal, would you please share with us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
All right, guys, I'm Jamal Brooks. Been with APL Logistics since 2013. I'm the general manager for Intermodal for North America. Some of my hobbies, I love watching basketball, huge fan, and just an outgoing person.
Well, we're so glad you're with us. And so today, let's have you address the question, what policies and processes do we need here at APL Logistics to support diversity?
Well, to piggyback off what Sephora mentioned earlier, I think we're on the right path, but that path is going to be a little bumpy. We'll be naive to think that we're not going to face any adversity as we start to roll out some plans, and we need that employee engagement. I think the first steps that we need to really take a look at is training. We need to invest in training on diversity and inclusion. Needs to start at the top, work its way down, but everybody should have access to it. We need to really look at how we hire and recruit, and that'll come along with the training as well, to change that mindset, to overcome some of those biases, whether it be unconscious bias, confirmation bias, similarity bias, just to name a few, that those all play a part when it comes to the hiring recruitment. Also going down that path, I think we need to build better relationships with HBCUs to attract minority talent and be able to retain that talent pool. Establishing a mentor program, I think that helps with the growth of each associate. And that mentor program doesn't have to be necessity to just NAM. It should be a global mentor program. So you can get access to different people around the world and get their views on life and career paths. I think we need to really focus on culture. That's the going theme. You know, how do we change the culture? How do we grow the culture? I think the first steps is to empower the employees, make them feel safe, that they can bring to our attention that they're in a toxic environment. Someone is belittling them, someone's making them feel inferior, someone's saying something that's very insensitive about their culture or background. They should feel safe to be able to address that grievance without the fear of retaliation. And then second, I think we really need to embrace all religions, all cultures, and really get exposure out there, because we are a global organization. The more we engage employees, recognize employees for their different backgrounds, I think that will go a long ways in everybody feeling inclusive.
Great insight, Jamal. I feel like you're sitting here looking at my roadmap of D&I. So I know we're close. So I know you listen to a lot of my thoughts and things like that. And also I look forward to working closely with you. As you all guys know in the audience, or you don't know in the audience, or you guys here, Jamal will be taking my spot as the chair of the AAERG. I'll be the chairman of Emeritus now as I continue to grow and develop more resource groups. So I know he'll do some outstanding things, just a class act. I couldn't have anyone else to work next to closely. So I look forward to him doing some great things. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone on this panel today. Thank you for your great insight and your real organic way of putting things today. Very, very, very inclusive. As we close out this great conversation, I just want everybody in the audience, please stay tuned to this exciting Black History Speaker Series. We have some great outside guests from awesome companies coming to speak to us. So please make sure you join myself and April in the coming weeks for some great, great conversations. I really is going to really be outstanding. I want you guys to make sure you catch up with these. So till next time, continue to be safe and healthy. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.